What's up, everybody? It is Econ with Dave, back in another video. Thank you to Bar Chart. What it costs to buy a house in America. The most expensive, California at $825,000, Oregon $480,000, Washington $612,000, Idaho $471,000, Nevada $469,000. And with the cheapest coming in, well, the most affordable is that'll go to be Alabama at $220,000. Now, I got more information than just this chart, and also I do notice that Hawaii is $760,000. That's kind of crazy. So the state medians vary wildly. Now, California sits on top around $825,000 as of December of 2024. Now, the Midwest and Southern states are usually under $250,000. This is going to be, West Virginia, Ohio, Alabama. So now for the larger snapshot, if you look at where the most craziest prices really are, it's California at $833,000, Washington at $630,000, and then of course Miami at $600,000. Not Miami. Boo. That'll actually go ahead and be, I believe that's Massachusetts. Yeah, it is. MA. Massachusetts is $615,000 and DC at over $646,000. Now, it's important to know, so this is from Redfin of September 2023. The state table ranged from 229 to the low end of around 787. The U.S. median then was around $412,000. Zillow's typical value list shows the same pattern. $856,000 was the highest versus West Virginia, as they claimed then in the first quarter of 2024 had West Virginia at $160,000. Now, notice, for instance, this is not a sale median that Zillow was taking the data from. Rather, it was the average / the typical values associated with those homes on their site where they're able to pull the data from. So what's really going on, right? I mean, obviously, supply, constraint, regulation, rates lock-in, affordability, that's the interest rates. We've talked a lot about that recently. So ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a quick highlight. This is a quick video for you all. And it comes down to saying that, I think that a lot of the older houses, the ones from the 50s, 60s, 70s, as they get older, some are going to get remodeled, but there will not be enough, in my opinion, currently for the current population for it to continue to increase. The population, especially in California, will probably continue to flow out. I don't think we'll flow back into California. I think we'll probably have maybe another 10, 15, 20, 25 million people have to leave California. Because at the end of the day, I mean, there's absolutely no way that this can continue. Businesses will leave. People are going to leave. So right now the population of California is 39.43. So then let me revise back down to my number. For some reason I thought we were higher. We'll probably lose another couple million. But I know that, California's a big place, right? I mean, all the way from San Diego to San Francisco. But I wanted to make this video just to kind of highlight the fact that, in this map here, it is so fucking insane how expensive housing is. And the fact you have to go all the way to the south to actually find affordable housing. Not that there's anything wrong with the south, but, the fact that in California, if you can't afford that price tag, what are you going to do? And, it really does make me think, whether it's Castaic, whether it's San Bernardino County, do we just need to open up the frontier again and just keep having people continue to build in those outskirts and just build trains or something to kind of send people back into the main city if they need to go to work? I mean, because it makes no sense with what's currently going on here. And, ultimately, at the end of the day, I think that in 10 to 15 years from now, if I remake the same video again with the updated, I think, maybe one or two spots might have relatively the same pricing, or maybe a little bit higher. Like I can see West Virginia or Alabama in the $400,000 or $500,000 range. If it dumps down to about $100,000 or less, that's a larger, structural problem. And while I would love the rent to be a lot more cheaper, people got their stuff locked into those mortgage rates and stuff. Some of them are government backed, meaning that it'd be a literal systemic crisis that the value of the homes are now negative. People are going to abandon their loans. Because now what is the point of paying my loan of a $300,000 house that's only worth about $125,000? Now I'm negative equity in that loan. So there's a whole bunch of issues that come down to it, but I at least wanted to hop on here and kind of talk about that for a second and go, Oh man, it fucking sucks. You know what I mean? I mean, Texas is at 352,000. New Mexico seems good. Oklahoma seems good. Literally, it's the South and the Midwest of the country that seems to have that beautiful concentration of relatively cheap and affordable. But also at the same time, my own question is, what are the wages over there? What's the, difference in living, and why is it we're seeing such a crazy blend of housing prices and the way that it goes? Obviously coastal cities are relatively going to be higher. Obviously everyone wants to live in Hawaii and California and New York. I think where the hell's yeah, and New York's at 250, but I mean there's a big difference between living in Manhattan and living in the outskirts. So very, very interesting. So yeah, no, shout out for this chart, but these are the type of things that I really enjoy having a conversation with you guys about, because it really does open up the reality of our situation, that, this is an unprecedented time for people that are, our age, and that's fucking unbelievable.